Energy and gas prices, two hot-button issues this election year. And President Obama offered a comprehensive strategy this afternoon to lower energy prices, but not before taking a shot at simpleton strategies being offered by the GOP.
Since it's an election year, they're already dusting off their three-point plan for $2 gas. And I'll save you the suspense. Step one is to drill, and step two is to drill. And then step three is to keep drilling. Well, the American people aren't stupid. They know that's not a plan, especially since we're already drilling. That's a bumper sticker.
Joining me now, live from Boston, Massachusetts, is Congressman Edward Markey. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
Congressman, the President today offered a dynamic energy strategy, delivery, production, research and development. Why can't he just offer a silver bullet strategy like Republicans? Drill, baby, drill. I mean, it's got a nice ring to it. What's wrong with that?
Well, first of all, drill, baby, drill has become fail, baby, fail. We only have 2% of the oil resources in the world, and we consume 20 to 25% of the oil on an ongoing basis. So what the President talked about today, and what has to be the strategy, is much higher fuel economy standards for the vehicles which we drive, and the President has now implemented those regulations that are going to wind up with 2 million barrels of oil being backed out of the Middle East, because we're going up to 55 miles per gallon over the next 15 years, 12 years actually, and that's pursuant to a law that I was able to get passed with Nancy Pelosi back in 2007, along with Democrats in the Senate. Indeed, after we took over.
Indeed. Now, Newt Gingrich repeatedly claims that if he's elected president, he will bring gas prices down to either $2 or a gallon, or $2.50, depending on which day it is. But you're the expert on these matters. What do you say, 218, 220?
Here's the deal with Newt Gingrich. He took over as Speaker in January of 1995. We had dropped down to only 27% of all the oil which we consume being imported in 1987. But by the time we reached 2005, at the peak of the Republicans controlling the House, the Senate, and the presidency, we were up to 60% of our oil being imported. And why is that? Because Newt Gingrich, in 1995, as the Speaker, added a rider to the transportation bill year after year after year, which prohibited the Department of Transportation increasing the fuel economy standards of the vehicles which we drive in the United States. Why is that important? Because 70% of the oil that we consume in America goes into gasoline tanks. And if you don't improve the efficiency of the vehicles those gasoline tanks are attached to, then we become more and more and more dependent upon imported oil.
So congratulations to Newt Gingrich on that. Well done. Rick Santorum was beginning to sound like an environmental fundamentalist last night, saying he wants to frack here, frack there, frack everywhere. Is that the perfect answer to our energy needs, or is Mr. Santorum smoking frack?
Well, there's no question that natural gas can and will play a larger role in the United States energy mix, but we have to make sure that the fracking doesn't result in chemicals being sent into the water table in our country that winds up creating a disease, cancers in children across the nation. But assuming that there are environmental safeguards put in place, then yes, natural gas is going to play a larger role. But here's the difference. What Democrats are saying is, let's keep the oil from the Keystone Pipeline in the United States. Let's keep the natural gas in the United States. What the Republicans are calling this now is the Keystone Export Pipeline. They don't want any restrictions on the pipeline being built and then the oil being sold to other countries and not to the United States. The same thing is true with how they view natural gas produced in the United States. Let's just export it across the planet, even though the Department of Energy has determined that there'll be a 57% increase in the price of natural gas if we allow that to happen. And so their policy is essentially oil above all, not all of the above. It's whatever the oil industry wants, and they want higher prices. And so right now the American Petroleum Institute does not want the Strategic Petroleum reserve deployed because that will lower prices. They always opposed increased fuel economy standards because that would mean less oil is consumed. And they are backing policies that would result in their oil tax breaks, $4 billion a year staying on the books, but the tax breaks for wind and solar and the competition of the 21st century being taken off the books.
Congressman
the president
Ed Markey
is on the right track. Yes.
Congressman Ed Markey.